Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of Financial Dad. Check out this photo. This photo is both good and bad. And in this episode of Financial Dad, I'm going to teach you what an emergency fund is and why if you love your family, please don't let this happen to you. So stick around to the very end. I got an awesome dad joke for you and 5 wicked tips on how you can grow your emergency fund as fast as possible. So let's go Team Dad. Okay, so this photo is from Tara Thompson, posted by Media Survivor. And so if you see here, they're at Target. This photo was posted on March 12th, which I suspect is people at Target buying for the pandemic. I'm gonna read you what the caption is so that you understand the context of this photo. Sam and I was at Target store yesterday. The couple near the cart didn't have enough money for their purchase. The lady in the green shirt started to hand things back to the cashier to be able to afford what she had. The lady in the black shirt came out from her lane and said, "You don't need to return anything. I will pay for the whole thing." She pulled out her card and did just that. The lady in the green shirt started to cry. We all just experienced such kindness. What a great story to share amongst all this pain in the world. Okay, so first off, I think it's amazing. I think what the lady in the black shirt did was amazing, right? And she stepped up and she paid for everything. Now, during this time with the virus going on, people are just scared, people are panicking, maybe they're even panic shopping. But I suspect that this family you see here, the lady in the green shirt, the man beside her, and the 2 kids, they're all afraid of what's going on. And so I don't really believe they're buying things that they want. They're buying things that they need. And how scary is it that in your bank account, you don't have enough money to buy what you need to support your family? There's a lot of talk about social distancing. Everybody is essentially trying to hide, stay in their house for the next 2 to 3 weeks so that this virus will dissipate. And you can't buy what you need. If I was in that situation, I would cry too if someone came in and helped me out. And so I think this topic is really important and very relevant to what we're going through today because you need an emergency fund. If you don't have an emergency fund, you need to figure out how you can get one. So as I researched more on the topic of emergency fund, I found these statistics to be very frightening. 40% of Americans can't handle an unexpected expense of $400. Doesn't sound like a lot, but 40% of us out there can't handle it. 54% of Americans do not feel financially ready for a contagious virus that we are facing today. Under this pandemic that we're facing, 54% of American families are not ready for it. Did you know that only 29% of Americans have jobs that allow them to work from home? So if you get sick under this virus and you're worried, you are now debating about staying home and being in more of a financial debt or go to work and infect your coworkers. But here's an even crazier stat. 27% of Americans do not have sick pay days. So 73% actually do. But amongst the 73, most do not have enough sick days to cover the 14-day isolating quarantine days that they recommend. So if you get the virus, even though you have sick days, you're most likely going to be under financial stress. Now imagine if you're the 40% American that can't handle the $400 unexpected expense, that you're the 71% of American that has to work but can't work from home, and that you're the 27% American that don't have sick day, and you get sick because of this virus. That's frightening. And this is why you need an emergency fund. Okay, so what is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is basically money that you put into either a savings account or a checking account, but an account that you leave alone that is used for an emergency. Do not put this money into the stock market because it might go down, like what's going on right now. Leave the money alone so that in case something bad were to happen, you have the money for it. So what are some examples of bad things that can happen? Maybe you need to fix the transmission in your car. Maybe your radiator isn't working at home. Or maybe you want to go buy a new iPhone, Jimmy. Do not go buy a new iPhone, Jimmy. Your family needs you to have an emergency fund. Okay, so you say, financial dad, stop yelling at me. I know, I need an emergency fund. So how much is that? I think first off, we need to identify whether you currently owe people money, so you have debt, or you don't owe people money, so you're free and clear. If you owe Sally Mae or Visa money, then you should listen to Dave Ramsey and Chris Hogan and have at least $1,000 in your emergency fund. Again, don't touch that money, right? This money is used for an emergency. Now, if you don't owe money to anyone, then I think your emergency fund should be anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So $1,000 seems like the magic number right now. And for instance, if you have $1,000, you can go to Target and buy what you need during this pandemic. Or if you have $1,000 and you need to fix your car for $500, you have the money. It's really important to give yourself that buffer so that you're not financially worried, because you have the money there to take care of immediate needs. So listen to Dave Ramsey, listen to Chris Hogan, and have at least $1,000. But now you're telling me, hey, financial dad, I got my debt all taken care of. I only have my mortgage to worry about. So how much should I have in my emergency fund? So I'm going to tell you, you need 3 to 6 months. If your household expense is $3,000 a month, you want at least $9,000 to $18,000 saved in account. $18,000 might seem like a lot, so maybe you don't, but I think there's a comfort level there. So if you're really worried about something, then you should go and do the 6 months, right? It doesn't hurt to keep the money there. But if you're not as worried, then do 3 months. I personally have 6 months. I worry a lot, right? I worry about the finance in our family. I just find that I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So during this pandemic, now I have 6 months. If I get sick and I can't work for 6 months, I know my family's taken care of. Do you know if your family's taken care of? Are you ready for something? This virus is spreading really fast. Are you financially ready to take care of your family? Okay, so how does this relate to what's going on right now? Why do you need an emergency fund? Let me illustrate it to you like this. This is your expense. This is your income. You are sick. You're worried that you have the virus. You feel like you might not be able to work. As your expense increases because you'll have hospital visits and your insurance might not cover it, your income also drops. That's right, you can't cover your expense because your income is lower now because you can't work. That is frightening. So let me give you some real world numbers as to how it relates. If you feel sick, you're showing some symptoms. Maybe you have a fever, maybe you have a cough, maybe you have runny nose, maybe you have a headache, maybe you have a sore throat, and you feel like you have the virus. You're going to go to the hospital. You're going to start and see if you have the virus. They're going to test you. If you're lucky to be tested, right? There's a lack of tests going on right now. But if you're lucky to be tested, that test alone will cost you $1,500. But that's okay because the CDC is going to cover it. But what is not okay, depending on your health insurance coverage, depending on the network of hospital you end up going to, you might be sent a hospital bill. That's right, under this time right now, because there's so many things going on, there's so many things that hasn't been standardized yet. Some people are sent a bill that's $900, and some people are sent a bill that's $3,000 or more. And if 40% of Americans cannot even cover $400 unexpected expense, how do you expect them to cover an expense that is on the low end $900, which is double, more than double the $400, or upwards of $3,000? So this is why you need an emergency fund. You need to be able to financially cover these things. And I think the scariest part amongst all of this is that there will be people who are legitimately sick from the virus but will choose not to go to the hospital, not to get the care they need because they can't afford to. That is frightening. And that's also something that will continue to spread the virus. And so basically, I can't stress enough how important it is to have an emergency fund. I think it's so applicable to what's going on right now. I think even without what's going on right now, I always worried for my family financially. I always worried, hey, if something happened to me and I can't work for a few months, are we going to be able to cover the bills? You need to look yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I can. If you can't do that, then you're not doing a good job taking care of your family. I have a 3-year-old, I have a 6-year-old. They don't understand the finance, but you need to. You need to take care of it. They depend on you. And if you do not do what you need to do to take care of them, then you're doing a lousy job. Okay, so here are 5 tips on how you can... Yeah, there you go. Oh, my hand's dry. Okay, so here are 5 tips on how you can build an emergency fund right away. First one, sell something. Sell it right away. Go through your house, go look for things. Is there an old camera? Is there an old TV? Do you have 10 TVs? Maybe you do, right? Take some of those TVs, take the camera, take the old iPhone, take things that you don't use and go sell it. If it's not essential, you find it's just taking up space, go sell it. That's one quick way of building your emergency fund. Okay, so the second one is to increase your income. So how do we increase our income? Well, first off, what you can do is go get a part-time job. Yeah, a second job. There's no shame in that. Get a second job so you can build your emergency fund. Something that's simple, something that you can handle, that doesn't create too much stress, but that it's a job for you to do so you can increase your income. Maybe you even only have to do it for 1 month, right? It doesn't have to be long term. You just need to do it long enough so that you build an emergency fund. On the other side of increasing your income is to lower your expense. With your family, with your spouse, go through, look at all your monthly expenses and find out what you actually need, what you actually are consuming that you need to survive. If there are things in there, say, going to Starbucks often or going to McDonald's, cut those out. Or what if as a family you tend to go out for dinners once a week? Maybe do half of it. By slowly cutting things out, you will be able to build the emergency fund that you need to protect yourself. Okay, so tip number 4 on building your emergency fund. This is a good one. If your company is giving you direct deposit into your bank account for your monthly salary, go to the bank and tell them when money is deposited into your account, have a portion of that money automatically taken and put into different accounts. So it could be, for instance, having the bank take out $100 of your paycheck. And in 10 months, you'll have your $1,000. I know it's a little bit tough at first, but by having someone do it automatically for you, you'll forget that you're actually saving $100 a month. And what's even more awesome is once you have it taken out of your account automatically, you may surpass your $1,000. It's just going to start growing for you. It's money you're not going to touch. It's going to be there for you when you have an emergency. Tip number 5 that I think is really interesting that you can do is wait for your tax refund. That's right. When your tax refund comes, take that money, don't touch it, don't go buying anything, Jimmy, but take that money and quickly put it in your emergency fund. Most people will want to spend that money on something, but not you. You want to take care of your family, so don't spend that money. Take that money, put it in an account, and there you go. Instantly, you have a stronger emergency fund. So I hope you like those 5 tips. Maybe leave me a comment below. Tell me if you like them. I know this topic felt a little more emotional to me, and it's because I want to take care of my family, right? How do you feel? How big is your emergency fund? Are you more on the 3 months or are you closer to 6 months? I know myself, I like 6 months. Sometimes I feel like I need more than 6 months, but right now I'm at the 6-month mark. And right now I feel comfortable having that amount because I just don't know with this pandemic going on how much money I really need. And so anyways, leave a comment. If you feel strongly about this, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to have dads, moms, everyone to have a little less stress about finance because we're all learning about it together. And this way, the more you learn, the less you're going to be afraid. Yeah, let's grow together. Let's go create some memories. Okay? Oh, before I forget, here is your dad joke. Okay. I'm already laughing. I hope you like it. Dad joke number 3. What kind of noise does a witch's vehicle make? What kind of noise does a witch's vehicle make? Are you ready? Broom Broom! Okay, I hope you like it. I will have another episode on you soon. On the last episode, I talked about how I was going to talk about how this virus is impacting me, small business owner. But I thought it was more important to talk about emergency fund because it's going to relate to more people. And so next episode, for sure, I'm going to talk about it. How small business owner is dealing with or affected by the virus. Okay, see you later.